Excellent. Thank you. How are you doing today, Zach?
I am great, and I'm glad to talk to someone in North Carolina where I went to college.
You did? Where'd you go?
I did Guilford College in Greensboro.
Greensboro's a great place, man. You got good party town.
I had so much fun there.
All right, so I've got to ask you, since you have those roots in Carolina, did I see the Charlotte Knights baseball field in any of your videos? Have you caught balls there?
I have not, but hopefully someday I will.
I hope so too, because I would love to get your insight. Because I mean, you've not everybody can say that I've been to every single baseball field, but you have taken that journey, and I swear you have found victory everywhere.
Yeah, and I have not been to every minor league stadium, but I have been to every major league stadium multiple times. There's 30 major league teams, and yet somehow I've been to 61 different major league stadiums. If you take all the old ones and all the one-off venues where Major League Baseball plays. So I am on the road a lot during the season. I've been to more than 1,800 games and snagged more than 11,000 baseballs at this point. It's pretty crazy.
Well, I'm so glad that they have done a documentary on you, Zack Hample versus the world, where people can get it pretty much anywhere these days. But we finally get to know you. We've seen stories, but now we get to see you.
That's exactly right. All the interviews that I normally do are really short. And, I'm sorry that you and I can't talk longer. Maybe we'll jump back on the air some other time. But I understand how the media works. You got to keep things moving. And it really is nice to have a longer form piece out there. This movie is 95 minutes, and it blows my mind that this thing is all about me. Like, what the heck? It's such an honor. And I hope that people watch it. It truly is an entertaining and beautifully crafted film. I'm a little bit biased, but in all seriousness, it's a work of art.
Yeah, but we need it, though. People need to know what a real fan of the sport is. It doesn't have to be a team, but you are a fan of the sport.
Yeah, I actually don't have a favorite team, which a lot of people think is weird, and I get that. But you go to a game in Cincinnati, you go to a game in Milwaukee, and it's always like, welcome to the best fans in baseball. And it's like, okay, we're all the best fans in baseball. I get that. And I just have this perspective where I've seen so much, and I just really love the sport. And it's amazing to be able to give so much back to the sport while I run around and have my fun, to have connected with so many people in so many cities, and to help kids out there catch balls and to raise money for charity. And yeah, there's a lot of haters as well, which is weird. The film goes into that, but my whole journey is really kind of bonkers.
What is it like for you to go into a stadium? I mean, you've got the mitt. God dang, I loved wearing my mitt to those games all the time. I mean, I'm jealous of you that you've done it in so many stadiums. But for you to go in there and basically you are a baseball magnet, how does it always find you?
It's weird, huh? I had a streak for more than 25 years where I got at least one ball at every game I went to. For more than 1,500 consecutive games, I did not go home empty-handed. And when the streak ended, it's because I intentionally ended the streak. Mm-hmm. I just the pressure was too much, and I didn't want to get hung up killing myself to get one ball, especially filming YouTube videos. Sometimes I just wanted to wander the stadium and not worry about it as much. But I've developed so many tricks and strategies over the years to maximize my numbers. I ask foreign players for balls in their native languages. I have hats and shirts of all 30 teams so I can dress up like I'm a fan of the visiting team, kind of make myself a more appealing target. And then, of course, catching batted balls. There's so many strategies for that. Looking for the walkways, the standing room, the tunnels, the empty rows, figuring how balls are going to deflect when they bounce off the scoreboard above you or the facade of the second deck, and how much space is there between the bottom of the seat and the steps. So if a ball's rolling down an empty section, is it going to stay in the row, or is it going to end up in the first? Like, it's really crazy how nerdy and specific I get with this stuff.
Do you ever have the fear of what happened at the Chicago Cubs game where the fan of the game put his mitt out there and that interrupted their flow of going to the World Series? Do you have that fear?
Steve Bartman. Oh man, I feel for that guy. And yes, I have that fear. I almost had my own Steve Bartman moment in the postseason in 2017 at Yankee Stadium. Yankees versus Indians. Francisco Lindor hit a long fly ball. He was on the visiting team, and I was sitting close to the front, and I got up, moved down a couple steps, and Aaron Judge, the 6'7" right fielder on the Yankees, was moving back for it. And the whole time I was like, oh my God, I think I'm going to catch this. I think I'm going to catch it. And in my head, I was telling myself, don't interfere, don't reach over the wall.
Yep.
So I reached my glove out just a little, so it was on top of the outfield wall. That wall out there is actually about 1.5 feet thick. There's a cement thing. And I was going to catch that ball. And then Aaron Judge, so tall, jumped up out of nowhere and caught the ball 1 foot in front of my glove.
Jeez.
So I could have robbed him. I make catches like that all the time in batting practice where I rob the pitchers out there that are shagging. But I obviously didn't want to do that on national TV, costing the Yankees a game. I actually could have ended their season if I caught that ball. Can you imagine?
Oh my God, my God! Have you walked into a stadium and basically you cried a tear? Because I did that with Wrigley Field. I walked in there and I knew that I was in a major chunk of baseball history.
I won't say that I am brought to tears, but I definitely get chills going into stadiums. I think the most chills that I got, it was probably a double-digit number of chills in one day, was the Field of Dreams game last year in Iowa. Wow. That was my 61st stadium. That's my favorite baseball movie, Field of Dreams. And I love movies that bend reality. And so, of course, they still have the movie site active and up and running, and it looks just like it did still in the movie all those years ago. So to basically take this fantasy world from the movie but then be there in person, it was like turning fantasy into reality. And I'm telling you, I had goosebumps for probably half the day that I was there.
As we jump into this really awkward baseball season, are you going to tour the nation again?
Oh, you know it. I will probably end up being at 20 or more different stadiums this year, maybe even some minor league. On April 10th in Reading, Pennsylvania, the Reading Fightin' Phils, it's the Phillies AA team, are having a whole Zack Hample day at the ballpark. They've designed a limited edition bobblehead of me. They're going to play the trailer for this documentary on the Jumbotron. I'm going to throw out the ceremonial first pitch. So, you know, I normally do major league games, but sometimes I have big things in the works for the minors, and I'm going to be all over. I'm probably going to post at least 50 or 60 videos on my YouTube channel, so people should definitely search my name there, Zack Hample. I have a ton of fun with this. I get all over the place and, you know, interacting with the players, the fans, eating weird food, exploring the stadiums, maybe some travel vlogs in there as well. So, yeah, lots of good times ahead.
Well, when you're out there on that mound and you're throwing that first pitch, please don't have a Baba Booey moment. You don't need to have that on your YouTube channel.
No, I certainly do not.
Zack, you got to come back to this show anytime in the future. You're right. 8 minutes is not enough with you, and you are just a man that loves his sport, and a lot of people can feed off that energy.
Well, I really appreciate that. I would be delighted to talk to you for any amount of time at any time. So let's be in touch, and we'll make it happen.
All right, man. You be brilliant. All right, guy?
Thank you. You too.